What's up, you guys? Century Productions here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the DC Collectibles DC Comics Super-Villains Johnny Quick with Atomica action figure, or figures. I guess it's plural, since we're getting a little bonus figure right here, which is really cool. I love how they paired these two up. They're just great in the comics. It's a really good representation of Johnny Quick too, and this is just looking at it in the box. And I'm really glad that they included the Atomica. It's a good selling point for some of the lesser known characters, so it's a really good job on DC Collectibles' part. The problem I had with this figure is I had to go through like 4 or 5 of them on the shelf just to find a decent paint job, and even this one has its flaws, and I can see it just within the package. So DC Collectibles has been having some issues as far as the paint not being spot on, or there being scuffs, or certain parts just aren't painted. This is a good example of that. I'm going to open up the figure. Overall, I'm actually really pleased with it. So I'm sure that there's more stuff I have good to say about it than I do bad, but let's open this guy up. First, I just want to show you guys this package. Of course, we got a side profile of Johnny Quick and Atomica. Of course, sculpted by Gentle Giant. Gentle Giant does some of the best sculpts. I have a bunch of their figures. They never let me down. They do such a great job. On the back, looks like we got like a little biography, or it's not a biography, it's just talking about the crime syndicate and a picture of all the other guys. And then on the side, of course, we have this kick-ass silhouette. So when you put all your boxes together, it's going to look super kick-ass, which is really cool. And I like the front of the package too, which is really awesome. So before I forget, if you guys haven't already, Toys and Sports. If you guys are in the San Leandro area or the Bay Area and you're local, make sure to hit up Toys and Sports. Big thanks to Joe for hooking me up with this figure. Here's all the hours. There's the all the information. So make sure to check out Toys and Sports. Alright, so let's open this guy up and see what's going on with it. Alright, so I have opened the Johnny Quick and the Atomica, and I would say overall I'm very pleased with him. I do like the paint job. I do like the sculpt. I like how the articulation flows throughout the figure. I think it's really fluent, and overall I think it's a pretty decent figure. There are a lot of problems with it, so before I get into all that, I just wanted to show you how far he stacks up against the DCUC Johnny Quick counterpart from the Crime Syndicate 5-pack. So you can see that he is around the same height. These are like 6.75 inches or something like that, so just a tiny bit taller than the DCUC one right there. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Alright, so first I want to just show you guys this Atomica. This Atomica is actually painted really nicely. I like the little base she comes with. You got some information on the bottom there. And I think it's just really cool. I think it's definitely to scale. It looks like they did a pretty good job on the head as far as painting it. This is probably one of the better painted figures out of the line, even though it is hella small. Yeah, there's the Atomica. Looks pretty cool. I like it. So I'm just going to go ahead and set her down, make sure I don't lose her, because she's so small. Alright, so here we got the Johnny Quick. Now, like I said, overall I'm pretty pleased with him. I like the sculpt and I like the articulation. It's really the paint that I have the problem with. And there are certain areas that actually look really good with the paint. Like I really like this leg right here, and I like how this vest is painted. But there are a couple problems. One of the problems with the paint is you can just see in between these brown and yellow parts that have been painted, it just seems like they've been leaking onto each other, and it's just like throughout the entire figure. There's scuffs all over it. This is straight out of package too, by the way. Looks like when you're moving the pieces of articulation, you're going to be scuffing off a lot of the paint, especially this yellow right here. I'm actually kind of afraid to just put them on the ground, because this might come off too. Looks like it does have a peg hole though. That's pretty strange. I've never seen him just do one peg hole, but I guess that's cool. At least you can get one foot on there. And then another problem is, look at this red. I don't know if my camera will pick it up, but it seems like this red right here at the top of the thigh. First off, there's a scuff mark right there, which is awesome. But it looks like it's like fading or something. I'm not really too sure. Maybe it was in the sun or something, but it seems like this part, just this part right here, is fading. Just kind of strange. So a bunch of quality control issues as far as the brown and the yellow go. I mean, some parts, like I said, though, are really nicely painted. Another problem I had, though, is this piece of articulation doesn't seem to want to work. I'm afraid if I turn it too much, it's just going to snap the arm right off. So you got to be careful with these DC Collectibles figures, because they are known to break. So I'm just going to leave that arm alone for right now, but I'm sure that that's not a common problem on these figures. It's probably just on mine. But look at this head sculpt, man. This head sculpt really makes up for that paint chipping down there, though, right? This head sculpt's really cool. We got these little flaps on the side right here. I like the blue they use for the eyes. No problems as far as the head goes, except for a couple little pieces right there, which aren't really that noticeable. But really kick-ass head sculpt. I really do like this. So, alright, so for articulation, the head looks down, up, left, right. We got this flap right here, which is actually really flexible, and I really like that they did this, and it's continued on the back here too, and that's to allow for the chest articulation to move fluently up and down, and it does move very fluently up and down, which is really cool. So I like that touch that they added this right here, and I do like how it's sculpted. It got these little lines going throughout it and everything like that. So it's a really, it's a pretty kick-ass fig. Just like I said, a lot of inconsistencies. You can see those are followed throughout the figure, but we do have a piece of articulation at the top of the arm right here, which goes forward. You know how this works. Piece of articulation at the bicep right up there. We've got one point at the elbow, and it looks like some of the paint is beginning to scuff off, which is pretty common for some of these DC collectible figures. These are definitely the kind of figures you're just going to want to pose and kind of leave them alone until you want to pose them again, because you're not going to want to play too hard with these guys. But the hand does have some pieces of articulation. It turns 360 degree, which is pretty cool. Two solid fists, which is nice. Piece of articulation at the waist, and I'm glad that these belts are kind of removable. Well, they're not removable, but you can slide them up and down so it doesn't hinder the waist articulation. You can see how it just moves with the articulation rather than move against it, which is really cool. And then we go into the legs. We've been seeing these a lot more lately with these joints right here at the thigh. So those move up and down, left and right, front and back, left, right. Just remember, you got to break all these pieces of articulation when you open them up, but just be careful. Use two hands, which is always really important. So 2 points of articulation at the knee. We've got some more. It looks like the paint inconsistencies just keep popping up. It looks like the more I move the figure, the more the paint scuffs up. So just need to be a little careful with it. And you can just see how the yellow's leaking onto the red. The red's leaking onto the yellow. It's just, it's not, I mean, I really do like the paint, though. That's the thing. The paint's really nice. It's just like they have all these problems with the yellow and the brown. So it's weird, because I do like this red a lot, and it does look really great with the brown and the yellow. It's just the brown and the yellow together. I don't know. Those two just don't work well. So yeah, go down into the feet, and of course the feet have a piece of articulation right there, and of course they got a swivel, which is really cool. I do like the fact that they include all these swivels on these new DC Collectibles figures. Just doing a really good job. It's just that there's a couple things they need to work on, or maybe the people out that are making them in the factories or something need to figure something out. This may not actually be DC Collectibles' fault. It may be just a quality control issue from overseas that maybe they can't help, you know. So this is Century Productions. This is the Johnny Quick review. I would say overall it's a pretty nice figure. It's definitely going to look cool with your Crime Syndicate all together. Just make sure to look through them. Try to get the best copy of it. And yeah, alright guys, so this is Century Productions, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.